Okay, kids, put your thinking caps on. It's time to show what you know. First up, we have three third graders from 3rd Street Elementary School. Representing the red team is Sharon Lim. Representing the yellow team is Lisa Mahia. The blue team is Arthur Kim. And here's the star of Show What You Know, Mark Archuleta.
Thanks, and welcome to Show What You Know. Hey, listen, we've got a great group of kids today, and they're really, really smart, so I don't want to waste any more time. Here's how we play the game. Okay, we've got 3 teams, a red team, a yellow team, and a blue team. Now, each team has 3 members. In the first round, it's going to be a competition between the 3rd graders. The second round will be the 4th graders, and our final round will be the battle of the 5th graders. Okay, contestants. Now, when you guys are going to choose a question, ask for a color and a number. Now, the blue questions are worth 10 points because they're pretty easy. The yellow questions are worth 20 points because they're starting to get a little more difficult. Now, the red questions are worth 30 points because they're getting really, really difficult. Oh, am I scaring you? I'm not scaring you, am I? Okay. Now, if at any time you're not sure of the answer, you can simply say, help.
And that's where I come in. Remember me? I'm Professor Pratt, and I'll always be here to help.
Well, he may be very happy to help, but I would be careful if I were you. Take it from me, Miss Brooks. The professor may be brilliant, but he can be a little absent-minded sometimes.
Now, that is just blatantly ridiculous. I am Professor Pratt. I have a Ph.D. and many other important... Oh!
See what I mean? If you think the professor's answer is correct, and it is, your team gets half the points. Or, if you think the professor's answer is incorrect, and it is, your team gets half the points. On the other hand, if you agree with the professor and he's wrong, or if you disagree with the professor and he's right, your team gets no points.
Okay, now, wait, I don't get it.
Just pay attention. You'll catch on.
Miss Brooks, that explanation made perfect sense to me. But then again, I like reading tax forms. So go figure. Okay, our first lesson today is going to be about rivers and oceans. You guys want to learn more about rivers and oceans? Do you? Come on, let's watch.
Now, class, what do we call a large body of salt water? That's right. Oceans cover more than half of the Earth's surface. There are 2 oceans that border the United States. The Pacific Ocean borders the west coast of the U.S. The state of Hawaii is completely surrounded by the Pacific. The Atlantic Ocean borders the east coast of the United States. It's the 2nd largest ocean in the world. The Gulf of Mexico connects with the Atlantic Ocean. It borders the southeastern United States. Oceans have waves, big waves. They crash onto the beach and wash away the sand and rocks. This is called... Erosion formed these cliffs overlooking the Pacific at Point Dume in Southern California. Sand starts out as shells and rocks. The crashing waves force them to crash into other shells and rocks. They begin to break into little pieces. This helps form...
Well, I've been pounded by waves in the ocean, and that's not that terrific. I like nice, calm rivers.
Not all rivers are calm. A river is a stream of fresh water that flows across the land. If it flows across flat land, the water moves slowly. This is the Black Warrior River in Alabama. It moves very slowly. Its water is very deep, and the river has many curves called... If a river flows over land with hills or mountains, its water moves very quickly. This is a river near Yosemite National Park in California.
Wow, all that water? Where do rivers begin?
Well, some begin as and others begin as underground, while others may begin from heavy rain or melting snow.
Okay, now I hope everybody at home was paying attention to the lesson. That way you can play along with us. Now our contestants have already studied rivers and oceans, so we're going to see how much they've learned. Okay, here we go. Sharon, Lisa, Arthur, you ready to show what you know? Yeah? Okay. Now, in round one, the red team goes first, so Sharon, go ahead and pick a number and a color.
Yellow 2.
Yellow 2. For 20 points, what word means the wearing away of land?
Yellow.
Correct, for 20 points. Okay, Lisa, your turn.
Blue 2.
Blue 2. For 10 points, what is the second largest ocean in the world? That's correct, for 10 points. Okay, Arthur.
I'll take yellow 1.
Yellow 1. For 20 points, what ocean borders the United States to the east?
Atlantic Ocean.
That's correct, for 20 points. Okay, Sharon, it's your turn again.
Blue 3.
Blue 3. We're leaving the difficult ones up there. For 10 points, what body of water borders the states of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida?
River.
River, no, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, you have another chance, though. Now it's Lisa's turn. Go ahead, select.
Yellow 3.
Yellow 3. Okay. For 20 points, where does sand on a beach come from? Remember, if you're not sure, you can ask the professor.
Help.
That help? Okay, Professor, we need some help here. Okay, Professor, now this is going to be for 10 points. Where does sand on a beach come from?
Well, everyone knows that sand on the beach comes from bags of kitty litter. No, it comes from ground up rocks and shells.
Is that correct or incorrect?
Correct.
That's correct, okay, for 10 points. Arthur, it's your turn.
I'll take red 1.
Red 1, the first 30-pointer. Okay, 30 points. What state is completely surrounded by the Pacific Ocean?
Alaska. No, Hawaii.
I'm sorry, we have to take the first answer, which is, the correct answer is Hawaii, so you don't get any points for that one. Okay, Sharon?
Red 3.
Red 3. For 30 points, what do we call the land along the edge of an ocean?
The coast.
That's correct, for 30 points. Okay, Lisa, select.
Red 2.
Red 2. For 30 points, what do we call a loop in a river? I heard a whisper for help. Professor, help!
Yeah.
Now this is going to be for 15 points since we're asking the professor. What do we call a loop in a river?
Well, a loop in a river is called an erosion bow.
Is that correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Incorrect, that's right. The correct answer is meander, so you get 15 points. Okay, Arthur. I think you're going to choose blue 1, that's my guess. It's the only one that's left. Okay. For 10 points, What is the largest ocean in the world?
Pacific Ocean.
That's correct for 10 points. Hey, we've come to the end of round one. These third graders are great, aren't they? Let's look at the scores. The red team has 50 points, the yellow team has 35 points, and the blue team has 30 points. In a minute, we're going to meet our fourth grade contestants, and they're going to be answering questions about metric measurement. Let's learn more about it.
And now, measuring length and width in metric. What if you want to measure the length of a paper clip, or a quarter, a pair of scissors, a fork, a knife, and a spoon? You use centimeters. 10 centimeters is a decimeter. But what if you want to measure something larger, like a doorway? You use meters. A meter is 100 centimeters long. You can use a meter to measure the length or width of a car, a table, a room, or a building. But what if you want to measure great distances, like the distance between two mountains, or the distance between Hollywood and San Francisco? You use kilometers. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. So remember, if you're going to measure a pencil, you can use. If you're going to measure a car, you can use. And if you're going to measure the distance from one side of town to another, you can use.
Okay, I hope you learned more about metric measurement. Let's see, there's centimeters, decimeters, meters, and kilometers. See, I'm getting pretty smart being on this show. I think I'm going to hang out. Okay, let's meet our fourth graders.
Okay, Mark. Representing the red team is Christopher Bowers. Representing the yellow team is Dan Rabinovich. And representing the blue team is Ara Ko. They're all fourth graders from 3rd Street Elementary School.
Okay, contestants, now we're going to see how much you guys know about metric measurement. Now remember, if you're not sure about an answer, you can still ask the professor just by saying help, because he's standing by. All right? Now, in round 2, the yellow team starts off. So Dan, go ahead and choose a color and a number.
Red one.
Red one. Okay, you're going for the big points right off the bat. For 30 points, if a bicycle is about 2 meters long, how many centimeters would that be?
200.
That's correct for 30 points. Okay. Ara, go ahead and select.
Red 3.
Red 3. For 30 points, if a basketball player is 2 meters tall, how many centimeters would that be?
200.
That's correct for 30 points. Okay, Christopher, select.
Red 2.
Red 2. Good choice. For 30 points, if a runner runs 4 kilometers, how many meters would that be?
4,000.
That's correct for 30 points. Okay, Dan, your turn again.
Red 1. And yellow 1.
Yellow one. Good thing we're not asking questions about colors. Okay. For 20 points, how many centimeters are in a meter?
100.
100 centimeters equals 1 meter. That's correct for 20 points. Okay, Ara, select.
Yellow 2.
Yellow 2. For 20 points, how many meters are in a kilometer?
1,000.
That's correct for 20 points. Okay, Christopher.
Yellow 3.
Yellow 3. For 20 points, how many centimeters are in 1 decimeter?
10.
That's right, 10 centimeters equals 1 decimeter. That's for 20 points. Okay, Dan, select again.
Blue 1.
Blue 1. For 10 points, what would be the more sensible way to measure a doorway? Centimeters or decimeters?
A doorway?
A doorway. Can always ask for help. Help! Professor, this is going to be for 5 points. What would be the more sensible way to measure a doorway? Centimeters or decimeters?
Well, I don't know that I'd use either, but centimeters are very small. Unless you were measuring a doorway for an ant, I'd use decimeters.
What do you think, Dan? Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Correct, that's right, for 5 points. Okay, Ara?
Blue 3.
Blue 3. For 10 points, what would be the more sensible way to measure the distance a jet plane flies in an hour? Meters or kilometers?
Kilometers?
That's correct for 10 points. Okay, last question, and I think it's going to be blue 2. Don't ask me how I know. This one's for you, Christopher. For 10 points, what would be the more sensible way to measure a baseball bat? Meters or decimeters?
Decimeters.
No, I'm sorry. The correct answer is meters. Hey, we're already at the end of round 2. And let's look at our scores. The red team has 105 points. The yellow team has 95 points. And close behind is the blue team with 80 points. Now, don't go away because we're going to have the big battle of the 5th graders. And they're going to be answering questions about machines. See, I like machines. Tell me more about them.
We're going to learn about... No, it's not what you think. Anytime an object is moved, work has been done. Ben has just done some work carrying a pencil across the room.
Wow, I've never worked so hard. I need a break. I wish my work was easy as Ben's.
Harvey's work is harder because there's a lot of... A force that resists the motion of one surface past another surface is called... He must reduce the friction. He needs help from A machine is anything that helps you get work done. If a machine has only 1 or 2 parts, it's called a... There are 6 kinds of simple machines. The inclined plane, the wedge, the screw, the lever, the pulley, and the wheel and axle. An inclined plane can be very helpful. Harvey has to move this desk inside the classroom. He could try to lift the desk as he walks up the steps, but there is an easier way. He can use the ramp. It's an...
If I want to cut this apple in half, I have to use a knife. A knife is a wedge. A wedge is 2 inclined planes put together. At the end of this light bulb is a screw. It helps hold the light bulb in the light socket. A screw is an inclined plane wrapped around a center post.
Another simple machine that helps you lift things is called a... When you push down on a lever, it is called... The thing you are lifting is called the... And the balance point of a lever is called the... What do we call a kind of lever that looks like a wheel with a rope around it? We call it a... This flagpole has a pulley with rope looped through it. When you pull down on one end, the other end goes up.
This cart will help me move the desk.
Harvey is right. The cart has wheels on the bottom. The wheel is a simple machine that is called the... It's also a type of... And it certainly made Harvey's job a lot easier.
Oh, thanks, Harvey, but I already have enough desks. Could you take this back to the supply room?
What did I say?
Wow, machines really are important. I hope they never invent a machine that can be a game show host, because then I'll be out of a job. Yikes. We better hurry up and meet our 5th graders.
And here they come, Mark. The 5th graders. Representing the red team is John Cash. Doing her very, very best for the yellow team is Christine Kang. And Malcolm Washington represents the blue team. Okay, John, Christine, and Malcolm, it's time to show what you know.
Okay, in round 3, the blue team goes first. So, Malcolm, go ahead and select a color and a number.
Can I have yellow 2?
Yellow 2. For 20 points, what do we call the balance point on a lever?
Fulcrum.
That's correct, for 20 points. Okay, John, go ahead and select.
Red 3, please.
Red 3. For 30 points, the pulley and the wheel and axle are actually types of what other simple machine?
Help, please.
Professor, we need your help.
On the rocks.
Now, this is going to be worth 15 points because you asked the professor. The pulley and the wheel and axle are actually types of what other simple machine?
They're all types of levers.
False.
No, I'm sorry, that's correct. They are types of levers. Okay, Christine, go ahead and select.
Yellow 1.
For 20 points, the propeller is an example of what kind of simple machine?
It's a screw.
That's correct, for 20 points. Okay, Malcolm, select.
Red 1.
Red 1. For 30 points, what do we call the weight you place on a lever to move an object?
A load?
No, I'm sorry. The correct answer is applied force. Okay, John, another try.
Yellow 3.
Yellow 3. For 20 points, a baseball player's bat is an example of what kind of a simple machine?
A lever.
That's correct, for 20 points. Okay, Christine?
Red 2.
Red 2, the last 30-point question. For 30 points, what do we call the object you lift and move with a lever?
A load.
That is correct, for 30 points. Okay. Malcolm, go ahead and select.
Blue 2.
Blue 2. This is for 10 points. What word means when an object is moved a distance?
Help.
What?
Help.
Help. Help. I didn't hear the help. Help, Professor.
That corn for lunch got stuck in my teeth there. Hate that.
Okay. This is worth 5 points now. What word means when an object is moved a distance?
Well, now, fulcrum means when we move an object a distance.
What do you think, Malcolm? Is that
False.
That's false, right? So you get 5 points. Work means when an object has been moved a distance. Okay, John, select.
Blue 3.
Blue 3. For 10 points, what word means a force that resists the movement of one force against another force?
Can I have help, please?
Professor, you're on again.
You called me again? I thought after that last one. Well, shoot.
For 5 points, what word means a force that resists the movement of one force against another force?
Now, numerator and denominator is a fraction. Friction is a force that resists the movement of one force against another.
What do you think, John? Correct or incorrect?
Yes.
It's correct. That's right, for 5 points. Okay, Christine, a final question. Blue 1, this is worth 10 points. If you walk up a ramp, what simple machine are you using?
An inclined plane.
An inclined plane is correct, and the yellow team wins. Let's find out what they've won.
Well, Mark, the yellow team will receive the following set of exciting books. Supergiants, The Biggest Dinosaurs by Don Lessem, illustrated by David Peters. Star Wars, Millennium Falcon by John Whitman. And we have 3 wonderful sports books by Matt Christopher, Soccer Scoop, The Reluctant Pitcher, and Football Jokes and Riddles. Congratulations to the yellow team.
Hey, I had a great time today, and I also learned some stuff, too. Did you guys have a great time? Yeah! All right. Hey, listen, we're almost out of time, so join us next time on Show What You Know. Bye!
Show What You Know is a presentation of Lucky Cat Productions.